Hi, folks. Welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Bite of 7th August. And President Trump announced additional 25% tariff on India last evening. And the markets were kind of disappointed, not really crashy, but they were very close to a very important uh, technical level, which is approximately 24,000. And those levels actually were being tested today. So, on all indices, as we will see later in the charts, all those levels were broken. But then, in the second half of the day, there was a massive short covering bout that happened in the market that erased all the losses for the day. The news that President Trump and President Putin are going to be meeting and perhaps sign some conciliatory terms also caused a uptick in all global markets and a downtick, of course, in gold. And that's where the day was. So basically, a completely tumultuous day. First half down and second half back up. At the end of the day, nothing really changed. Do read the disclaimer and understand it fully and then proceed in this video. Do subscribe to the channel and you can also click on the bell notification. So as you can see here, this level that I've been talking about is about 24,500 and that was broken today. But at the end of the day, it was completely reverted and we ended the day at 0.09%, the low of the day being 24,344. So there was a good 250 point recovery towards the end. So market is giving a signal that this level is not easy to break and that you really need some terrible news which is confirmed. I mean, this tariff news is basically speculation right now, or negotiation tactics, because there were also other news that came through that besides our prime minister going to China at the end of the month, President Putin from Russia will also come to India end of August, and a US negotiation team is also going to come in the last week of August. So everything is now concentrated in the last week of August, how the cookie will crumble. Nifty next 50 also recovering back from this breakdown point and recovering 0.24% today. The similar thing was seen in mid caps, 0.26%, small caps almost there, minus 0.1%. Not really giving up. Market actually, because it has come off continuously since more, more or less middle of July, is quite oversold. And any sort of short covering rally will basically add, a lot of accumulated buyers will suddenly jump in. Nifty Bank also did the same at 0.2%. So at the end of the day, if we see the last 2 days in combination together, despite there being news of 25% first and then 50%, market has not taken it on face value, and market is basically calling President Trump's bluff. Gold, as you can see, was nearly at a new high here during the day, but it was smashed down and it ended the day at 10,090 per gram, which is also not a bad level to be at. And here you can see is the phase of recovery that happened in the last 2 hours, and you can see the entire day was declining for advances, and then the advances really took off to close very near even terms with the declines. Some green was seen in the second half, although first half was complete red. But still, many stocks managed to close in the red. Mahindra, Levers, Tata Motors, NTPC, Adani Enterprise, Adani Ports, Bajaj Finserv, Shriram Finance, Kotak Bank, some of them. And you had some greens in HDFC Bank, Hero Motors, Maruti. Despite Maruti giving a warning that passenger vehicle sales is dipping, Wipro and HCL Tech 1% up, Coal India 0.7% up. JSW Steel has been doing well in the recent past, and Asian Paints is also perking up, Eternal as well as Asian Paints. The Nifty Next 50 space also had some gainers in Chola Finance, Adani Power, Torrent Pharma, DMart, TVS Motors, uh, Vishal Megamart, uh, and then you had PFC, Motherson, Vedanta, Hyundai, Indigo, LIC, DLF, Adani Green, all these lose some ground. Sorry, this was Naukri. Uh, so this one, if we see the movers of the day, BHEL really collapsed in the last two sessions from 252 to almost 222, and it's a small recovery post the market gains, but not really. And it has been collapsing quite heavily since beginning of July. The Q1 losses have widened, although the market was expecting poor results even before the result. BPCL tariff on Russian oil drops amid fears. So BPCL was another stock in the mainline stocks that dropped, and this also has dropped quite a bit, 360 coming down to 310 within the last month or so. Sectoral trends, you had media doing very well at 0.9%, IT stocks recovering. So IT, which has not been in the line of fire of tariffs, is doing all right, 0.87%. Pharma also exempted from tariffs mostly, 0.75%. Capital market perking up after the news that weekly expiries may still stay on 0.72% up here. Others marginally up, and somewhat down were public sector enterprise stocks and defense stocks at 0.46% down. Here you can see IT stocks trying to make a comeback. Some of these stocks, uh, putting in that effort there at 0.87%, and media stocks have been stagnant for the last 7-8 sessions, not falling any further. With PVR, Z Entertainment, Nazara are doing the rounds there. So from a cup of coffee to capital loss is the title of our next video in the evening that is going to discuss a very pertinent topic of how we tend to give up a lot of our capital uh, in light of perhaps getting blinded by a lot of uh, well-known names and by getting blinded by branding. So we'll discuss all that at 8 p.m. today. Do join that video as well, and I'll see you in the next one for this daily bite. Thank you. Bye.